French detectives investigating the Notre Dame fire have questioned workers who had been restoring the iconic Paris cathedral. The inferno that consumed most of the roof was probably started accidentally, said Remy Heitz, the Paris prosecutor, possibly as a result of restoration work on crumbling upper sections of the cathedral and the spire. Nothing indicates a deliberate act, he said. Some 50 investigators from the Paris Police Criminal Division, half of its detectives, have been assigned to the case. Among those they have interviewed are 12 employees of the firm which was leading the €150 million 4-year restoration, Lebras Brothers, based in Jarny, northeastern France. Read more. Notre Dame, full coverage. Rebuilding will be long, fraught and expensive. Notre Dame fire, how human chain saved treasures in pictures. Inferno rips through Notre Dame Cathedral. Cause of Notre Dame fire is being treated as an accident. Video. Notre Dame's famous 96-meter-high spire collapses. Notre Dame fire, fighting a blaze in a 12th-century cathedral. The highly respected specialist company has restored cathedrals and churches in Strasbourg, Reims, Poitiers, Verdun, Amiens and other French cities. It had recently started restoring the 91-meter wooden spire of Notre Dame, which was added to the 850-year-old cathedral in the 19th century and collapsed in the fire on Monday, Tuesday. NZT. Cedric Urpson/AP. Flames and smoke rise from the blaze at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris on Monday. All I can tell you is that at the moment the fire began none of my employees were on the site. We respected all procedures, said Julien Lebras, head of the family firm. Another firm, Europe Échafaudage, erected 250 tons of scaffolding and installed a lift. Detectives have been talking to some of the restoration staff to see if they can help with pinpointing the exact location where the fire started, probably in the roof, a source close to the investigation said. They're also looking at what equipment was being used, especially power sources and lighting that may have contributed to starting a fire. Lebras was of pride when he gave an interview in 2017 about his firm being chosen to restore Notre Dame. Thierry Mallet/AP. The moment Notre Dame's spire topples as the blaze tears through the cathedral's roof. No one has touched it in 150 years, it's really quite something to say we will be the ones getting involved. We won't be offering a guarantee of 10 years, but 150 years, he said. When a French reporter called Lebras on the night of the fire to ask what was happening, he said in a panicked voice, I don't know, before hanging up. Bernard Fonquerny, an architect who worked on Notre Dame from 1978 to 1990, said, the inquiry will show what happened. Dan Kitwood/Getty Images. Firefighters assess one of the church's famous rose windows, feared damaged after the inferno. A building like this has the makings of a disaster. You could never build a cathedral like this today, the rules have completely changed. In the years I worked here, we never had an accident because we followed the rules so tightly. There are extinguishers everywhere, you may not use flammable liquids. Firefighters battled the inferno for 9 hours before bringing it under control in the nick of time. Dan Kitwood/Getty Images. Among people detectives have interviewed are 12 employees of the firm which was leading the €150 million 4-year restoration of Notre Dame, Lebras Brothers, based in Jarny, northeastern France. Experts said bureaucracy and politics had delayed the much-needed restoration of Europe's most visited monument, parts of which had been left in a state of disrepair. Marie-Claude Gavard, a historian and author of a book on Notre Dame, said, the resources needed to maintain it were not provided. When the renovation was finally started, it was high time, and perhaps a bit late. Stéphane Bern, a television presenter appointed by Emmanuel Macron to raise funds for historic monuments, said he was angry that the president had blocked his demands to charge an entrance fee to the cathedral. Camille Zinoglu crowds attend a vigil in Paris. Earlier firefighters declared success in a more than 12-hour battle to extinguish the inferno engulfing Notre Dame. That would have made it possible to finance repairs, given the 14 million tourists who come each year, he said. Until last year, no major restoration had been carried out since the mid-19th century, after Victor Hugo called attention to the need to repair damage inflicted during the French Revolution. As corporate donors and individuals pledged nearly €1 billion for the rebuilding work, there was criticism that taxpayers would end up paying much of the money as the companies would write off up to 90% against tax. Let's block ads. Why?